I was in the garage the other day and I suddenly didn't notice my pack of stuff to swap or sell. Ever growing. This pack of squats or Dead Zone Dwarfs from Mantic Dead Zone version 2's box set, starter box set. And I thought to myself, they look ugly. How can I get rid of those? I mean, they were effectively free in the box. And then it occurred to me,
Osprey Games Stargrave, with the expansion Quarantine 37, which is basically about space zombies. Ah! Now I find zombies and skeletons from horror movies frankly disgusting. I can't believe I watched all of The Walking Dead because I'm still traumatized. But what could be more entertaining than space zombie dwarves?
and I thought there must be some bits and pieces I can use as heads from the undead project that I've got slowly going on in the background, with pieces, some of which are very old, like this Games Workshop skeleton sprue from possibly the 90s. And I thought, oh, look at those claws, those hands that I seem to have excess from some Games Workshop ghouls. And they never really agreed with me, but there were these Atlantic skeletons, which were extremely fiddly to put together, and quickly, in my mind, became bypassed when it came to the Oathmark skeletons, and I just used the bodies with Oathmark heads. And there's a video you can see about that elsewhere. And I always thought the heads looked like something from Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. So I had a few packs of these. Shields one day I thought would be useful, but the rest of it I thought probably to be binned. I don't have any plans for them particularly, but here's, I think they came out quite well. Here's one crazed death skeleton zombie in his spacesuit who just loved running around firing weapons into the air, and in Undeath, that's all he does. This one just meanders about with his Atlantic miniatures head, body from the squat sprue from Dead Zone. That's one of the normal arms, gloved. There, for whatever reason, he's removed his glove for extra tactility so he can get his evil claw onto whatever he seems to be looking for in Undeath. I call him Hannibal.
Yep, the white-haired dude in the middle from the A-Team.
With his, because he's the only one who still has a bit of a brain after being bashed in the head, with his Games Workshop skeleton skull and his eyeball that shows that in life he was the thinker of the arrangement. Trying to work out how they got to the state of Undeath, holding the piece of whatever alien meteorite landed and gave them all this brain freeze. Annoyingly, I thought, oh, that'd be interesting, let's experiment with that frontal carapace piece from the sprue, but it doesn't look quite right, because these look like they could be, you know, from any normal human future. That looks like, you know, very Games Workshop-y, and even though it's Mantic and it looks like it's, you know, some ornate Anglo-Saxon piece of armor in the future. But, you know, that's why he's Hannibal the leader. Annoyingly, for my purposes, they were trying to give some kind of dynamism to the dwarfs running around, whereas you wouldn't expect one of the undead dwarfs running around. But, you know, in life he just ran around with his hammer, hitting things, and as it is in Undeath. And that's a Games Workshop head, and we call him Olaf. And the reason we call him Olaf
It's because Olaf just likes warm hugs, but you just might not want the hug back from him. Now, kit bashing is fun, but you can get carried away. Nah, that head's coming off. Well, that's it for this time. Olaf says thank you very much for bearing with us to the end, and particularly given the horrendous cold you must have been able to hear through some of those clips. But all is better now. Anyway, perhaps like if you thought this was entertaining, comment if you think these are plausible. I'd be very interested if you offered thoughts on whether they look like viable miniatures or whether they just look pretty stupid and the heads just don't match the bodies. And of course, subscribe. And you never know, one day these might actually get painted, though I have a feeling it'll be a contrast paint, white to the armor and just orange, very roughly and rudely highlighted with the skeleton heads and hands just being mostly dry brushed. But that would only be if I actually got into Stargrave, which is, at this moment, unlikely. But anyway, have a great day or evening.